Good morning, America. Supreme Court rulings. The High Court clearing the path for President Trump to end birthright citizenship.
A monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law.
The scathing dissent from liberal justices and what happens next. Plus, the court's rulings on Obamacare and parents' rights.
Captured, another inmate who brazenly escaped from a New Orleans jail back in police custody after 6 weeks on the run, where they say they found him and how many others are still out there.
Closing arguments. Attorneys for Sean Diddy Combs using their last chance to convince a jury there's no proof to those sex trafficking and racketeering charges, how they ridiculed the prosecution's case.
Shark alert. Word of a possible new encounter at a popular New York beach following recent attacks along the East Coast. How to keep safe as we head into summer's biggest holiday week.
Tying the knot, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez say their I do's in front of a host of celebrities in Venice. The star-studded guest list with more festivities to come. Our Maggie Rulli is live in Venice.
I'm on top of the world, I'm on top of the world,
NHL draft night, the teams beefing up their rosters, a 17-year-old phenom, the #1 pick, and the famous faces getting in on the action. Plus, dancing away their differences, the tennis rivals serving up some fun just ahead of Wimbledon.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Saturday. Good morning, America.
And good morning, America. So great to have you with us on a Saturday. It's nice to see Coco Gauff and Arina Sabalenka, coming together, having some fun. Exactly, ahead of Wimbledon there. We are tracking a lot of news today, including those severe storms in the plains in the Midwest. Take a look at this tornado touching down 7 miles north of Bismarck, North Dakota. A total of 5 reported twisters tearing through that state. And there's more severe weather to come, plus travel troubles this morning. Delta canceling hundreds of flights.
Yeah, some incredible images there. Also ahead this morning, the makers of the popular weight loss drug Wegovy are now teaming up with Weight Watchers. We now know the price and when it'll be available, so that's coming up.
Yep, that's coming up. More on that just ahead, but we do begin with major news from the Supreme Court. The conservative majority handing a victory to the Trump administration by limiting the power of the lower courts to issue nationwide injunctions. So what does this mean for the president's controversial executive order on birthright citizenship? ABC's senior White House correspondent Selina Wang is here with that answer. Good morning, Selina.
Hey, Jay, good morning. And this is a major victory for President Trump. Before the Supreme Court ruling, any federal judge could block policy for the entire country. That's no longer the case. So this is going to have a sweeping effect on a whole list of Trump policies, including his attempt to end birthright citizenship.
This morning, President Trump allowed to move forward with plans to end birthright citizenship after the Supreme Court strengthened presidential powers in a new ruling.
The Supreme Court has delivered a monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law.
In a 6-3 decision, the Supreme Court's conservative majority dramatically limits the ability of federal judges to check presidential power. Federal judges in 3 states had ruled Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship blatantly violates the Constitution, issuing nationwide injunctions to block Trump's order from taking effect. But Justice Amy Coney Barrett writes that those injunctions go too far and likely exceed the equitable authority that Congress has given to federal courts. Trump taking a victory lap.
And thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies.
In a scathing dissent, Justice Sotomayor writes that the liberal justices will not join so grave an attack on our system of law, saying Trump's attempt to end birthright citizenship makes a solemn mockery of our Constitution. The courts did not rule on whether Trump's executive order is constitutional, but the order has a 30-day grace period before taking effect. Yet the White House giving no explanation on how exactly citizenship for newborns would be determined.
Who would be tasked with actually vetting citizenship? And would this be a situation where you have nurses and doctors checking for citizenship of parents? Or?
This is all pending litigation. It's going to be decided in October by the Supreme Court, and we'll discuss that after the litigation.
But guys, the legal fight on birthright citizenship is far from over, and this decision from the Supreme Court also impacts other Trump policies that have been blocked by federal judges. That includes around his immigration agenda and his federal funding freezes. So those controversial policies could all move forward now. Janae?
So much ongoing conversation around this. And Selena, this wasn't the only decision. There were several other major decisions that the court issued.
Yeah, Janae, that's right. It was a busy day, and the Supreme Court justices upheld a key part of Obamacare that allows patients to receive preventative health care for free. The Supreme Court also ruled that parents can opt their kids out of classes with LGBTQ books that conflict with their religious beliefs. And the court also upheld a law that requires age verification to view adult websites. Janae?
All right, Selina Wang in Washington. Thank you for that. Gio?
Okay, Janae, we're going to stay in Washington and turn to Capitol Hill, where the Senate is working through the weekend. Republican leaders trying to pass President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. ABC's Christian Cordero is in Washington with the latest on this. Good morning, Christian.
Gio, good morning. Less than a week to go until the 4th of July, but we have already seen plenty of fireworks on Capitol Hill. The Senate is staying in Washington through the weekend, working on President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill. Trump for months has been urging Congress to have it on his desk ready to sign by Independence Day, a self-imposed deadline, and one House Speaker Mike Johnson and the president himself have hinted could change if necessary. Now, remember, the first version of this mega bill passed through the House about a month ago by just one vote. The bill now before the Senate extends Trump's 2017 tax cuts, and according to the Congressional Budget Office, has cuts to Medicaid that could lead to an estimated 11 million people losing their insurance over the next decade, and increases the deficit by an estimated $2.8 trillion. And even though Republicans have a 3-vote Senate majority, this is far from a slam dunk. Some Republicans are frustrated by the bill's price tag. Others want to see the full final text of the bill before committing to it, as there are still some outstanding issues. As for the timeline, we may see a procedural vote on this in the Senate later today. It could be a long night tonight, with Republican senators aiming to vote on the final passage of the bill tomorrow. Then, if it passes, the question becomes, can the House deal with any changes the Senate makes? Because any revisions have to go back through that chamber before reaching the president.
All right, we'll be watching closely. Christian Cordero, thank you. President Trump says he's now suspending trade talks with Canada. In a social media post, Trump says Canada's plan to go ahead with a digital services tax is an attack on the U.S. The Canadian tax will apply retroactively to a host of tech companies, including Amazon, Google, Meta, and Airbnb, potentially leaving them with an estimated $2 billion bill due at the end of the month. That's according to the Canadian Chamber of Commerce.
All right, now to new details in the case of the man accused of shooting 2 Minnesota state lawmakers and their spouses. The suspect appearing in federal court Friday. ABC's Zoreen Shaw has more on that. Good morning to you, Zoreen.
Good morning, Janae. The suspect now faces a court delay. Meanwhile, there is heartbreak and outrage in Minnesota as mourners say goodbye to Melissa Hortman and her husband. This morning, former President Biden paying his respects to slain Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark, both lying in state in the Minnesota state capitol, along with their golden retriever, Gilbert. A line of visitors also seen stretching out the door and down the Capitol steps. And former Vice President Kamala Harris expected to attend the couple's funeral on Saturday. Police say Vance Bolter killed the couple in their home and later wounded another Democratic lawmaker and his wife while allegedly impersonating a police officer and wearing a latex mask. Bolter appearing in court Friday, but his public defender asking the judge to postpone the hearing, saying her client has not been able to sleep in 2 weeks due to conditions inside the jail. His attorney saying he has also been forced to wear an anti-suicide garment. She says those conditions are making it difficult to communicate with her client, saying, "I cannot do my job in the conditions he's currently in." The judge agreeing to postpone the hearing. This as Mark Hortman's brother remembers the couple.
They fit together like nothing you've ever seen. Of all this, that may be the only bright spot, is that he didn't have to go through all that alone.
And in a new statement, Bolter's wife, Jenny Bolter, saying, "We are absolutely shocked, heartbroken, and completely blindsided. This violence does not align with our beliefs as a family." The next hearing is set for July 3rd. Investigators are still piecing together exactly what led to the deadly rampage. Gio.
All right, Zorine, thank you for your reporting there. Now to closing arguments in the sex trafficking and racketeering trial of Sean Diddy Combs, the rap mogul denying the charges and his lawyers making their final pitch to jurors on Friday. ABC's chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky has more on this.
This morning, the case against Sean Combs is almost ready for the jury. The judge will give his instructions Monday before the 8 men and 4 women begin deliberating charges that could put one of hip-hop's most acclaimed figures in prison for life.
I survived what I've been through. Y'all got drama, the saga continue.
His attorneys asked jurors to summon the courage to find Combs not guilty and return him to his family. His twin daughters, sons, and mother all appeared at court as the defense ridiculed the case, attacked the witnesses, and said the government targeted Combs to make him look like a racketeering kingpin. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo said, his voice rising to a staccato. He mocked the evidence like baby oil and lubricants seized from Combs' garage. Boxes of Astroglide taken off the streets. I feel better already. The defense said prosecutors badly exaggerated to make Combs' swinger lifestyle look like trafficking. Where's the crime scene, Agnifilo asked. The crime scene is your private sex life. He told the jury Combs and Cassie Ventura were truly, truly in love, and sex with male escorts was her lifestyle choice also. She had sexual confidence, Agnifilo said. Good for her. But prosecutors in their rebuttal said what we're talking about is being in a dark hotel room, awake for days, covered in oil, wearing 8-inch heels, having sex for hours, including with strangers. The idea that women chose that, prosecutor Maureen Comey called ridiculous. She said for 20 years, the defendant got away with his crimes. That ends in this courtroom, imploring the jury to find him guilty.
Juries love direct evidence. They are going to look a lot at the text messages that happened at that time. They may or may not look at the videos. They're going to look at the things that happened at that time because most jurors feel like that gives them the most accurate portrayal of what actually took place.
Aaron Katersky, ABC News, New York.
And our thanks to Aaron for that report. A flashpoint in the Trump administration's showdown with higher education. The president of the University of Virginia, James Ryan, is now stepping down from his post. The departure follows growing pressure from the White House to dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Ryan says he is choosing to resign over putting up a fight with the federal government. Janae.
And now to a suspected shark encounter this week at a popular beach here in New York. The apparent bite coming just a week before millions of us head to the beach for the holiday weekend. ABC's Faith Abube has more on that story. Good morning, Faith.
Yeah, good morning to you, Janae. We should preface this by saying shark attacks are extremely rare, but recent encounters like the one here in New York City this week have officials on high alert as they urge beachgoers to take precautions.
This morning, New York officials on alert after a 20-year-old woman's possible encounter with the shark this week. Authorities say the woman was at the popular Jones Beach in Long Island in waist-deep water Wednesday when she was most likely bitten by a sand tiger shark, suffering minor cuts to her left foot and leg.
In all likelihood, they were feeding on smaller fish and the bites were a mistake.
Beachgoers also spotting this baby shark on the same beach that morning.
That's a shark!
Officials briefly suspending swimming, using drones and lifeguards to scan the area for other dangers. Beachgoers unnerved by the encounters just as summer gets into full swing.
Been here my whole life and never seen a shark in here. I don't even know I'm gonna let them go in, to be honest.
It comes nearly 2 years since the last shark bite in the New York City area. A swimmer seriously injured on Rockaway Beach.
It's pretty scary, but you go to the ocean and there's sharks in the ocean.
In the last 2 weeks, 2 shark incidents reported in South Carolina.
Typically, we get 2 or 3 shark attacks every single year around this time, June, July, August.
Another in Florida, where 9-year-old Leah Lindell is recovering after a shark nearly bit off her hand while snorkeling.
Something hard bit me and then it tried to take me away. Then I pick up my hand and it's all in blood.
Despite the incident, experts say shark attacks are very rare and beachgoers can minimize their risk.
And guys, if you're heading to the beach anytime this summer, it is a good idea to avoid swimming in the ocean at night and to avoid murky waters. Officials also recommend staying close to the shore where your feet can actually touch the bottom. Stay in groups and be sure to follow all the lifeguard instructions. Gio.
Some very good advice there. All right, Faith, thank you so much. And this morning, the Mexican government is questioning whether SpaceX broke any international laws after debris from recent explosions turned up on the Mexican side of the border. Just 10 days ago, the upper stage of Starship Starship exploded into a fireball during testing at the Starbase site near Boca Chica Beach, Texas. No one was hurt, but Mexican officials are concerned about the fallout from that and other recent explosions near the border. The president there calling for this investigation, and images provided to ABC News by someone close to the investigation. SpaceX labels are clearly visible on some of the debris. Sources say the debris was found near a protected area where birds and sea turtles nest. There was also visible damage to trees. You see that right there. All of these images apparently part of the investigation. SpaceX says this: there are no hazards to the surrounding area. Previous independent tests conducted on materials inside Starship, including toxicity analyses, confirm that they pose no chemical, biological, or toxicological risks. Sources tell us that Mexican officials are collecting the debris to do their own testing now.
Wow.
But so close to that protected area.
And the video is interesting, too. I know they have to look into it, but if like labels and things are clearly saying SpaceX, it is a question to be addressed. Yeah. Thank you, Gio. Appreciate that. We do turn now to California, hoping to win back film and television productions to the state. Overnight, the state Senate and Assembly voted to expand California's tax credit to the industry from $330 million to $750 million annually. The vote in favor of Governor Gavin Newsom's proposal follows months of lobbying by creative unions and other industry groups. In recent years, many productions have moved to other states and countries with better tax incentives. New York recently raised its tax credit to $800 million. Georgia's is unlimited.
Well, now to the trade war with Canada that's not stopping Wall Street. Both the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ soaring to record levels. ABC News investigative reporter Olivia Rubin joins us now with what this means for your money. Good morning to you, Olivia. A lot of people watching this.
Yeah, and this is good news, right? Good news for everyone's 401k. The S&P 500 hitting a record high, 6173 on Friday, as investors are shaking some of these concerns over tariffs, right, and that possible war in Iran. The NASDAQ also hitting a new record of over 20,000. You see it there. And this marks the first high since back in February. The S&P 500 rallying more than 20% since those volatile lows that we all remember back in April when Trump first announced his tariff liberation day. That prompted those heavy sell-offs and sent the market tumbling. Now, with most of those tariffs on pause and a ceasefire in place in the Middle East, we are seeing the stock market surge. The tech-heavy NASDAQ seeing some of the highest gains during that period, growing nearly 30%. So how do you navigate these sharp turns going from up to down to back up again? Well, experts actually say in times of volatility, the best thing to do is nothing. You should stay calm and avoid those snap decisions. But remember, there are other financial changes coming on the horizon, especially if you click buy now, pay later at checkout. Credit score company FICO is now going to include those loans in your credit score. Expect those to start showing up this fall, guys.
So let it be and wait it out. That's some good advice.
Wait it out
All right,
and maybe
Olivia.
pay now.
Yeah. All right. Olivia, thank you so much.
All right, turning now to the NHL draft now. The Islanders making a 17-year-old defenseman the #1 choice in round one. ABC's Ashin Singh here with more on that. What a first round here.
Yeah,
Fun
it
to
was
watch.
exciting. Fun first round. And guys, last night was round one of the NHL draft. And with the next generation of hockey stars hoping to see their ice dreams come true, the evening was nothing short of epic. With the first pick, the New York Islanders selected what almost everyone expected to be the consensus pick, and left-handed defenseman Matthew Schaefer. It was an emotional moment for the 17-year-old as he met his new team, realizing a lifelong goal and crediting the moment to his mom, who passed last year to breast cancer. The San Jose Sharks picked second, taking center Michael Misa, and the Chicago Blackhawks picking third, taking 18-year-old Swedish center Anton Frondell. But it was some of the key moments of the draft that made last night so exciting. From Bruins superfan Adam Sandler announcing Boston's pick, James Hagan, and the Goo Goo Dolls announcing the Buffalo Sabres pick. Last night was star-studded, but the room was overcome with emotion when Meredith Goudreau, the wife of late Columbus Blue Jackets star Johnny Gaudreau, who was struck and killed while on a bike alongside his brother Matthew, announced defenseman Jackson Smith as the pick for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, guys, round 2 kicks off right here today on ESPN at 11 a.m. Eastern. San Jose Sharks pick first. It'll be an exciting time to watch.
I like seeing Adam Sandler there. It was like kind of like Happy Gilmore vibes in the mix.
And you guys already know, as a Bruins fan, it's always good to see our number 1 fan, putting on for the squad.
Coming from Mr. Boston himself.
You already know.
Austin, thank you. Always great to have you here. All right, coming up here on Good Morning America, the new option ahead for Weight Watchers customers as the company prepares to market a popular weight loss medication.
And our Maggie Rulli is in Venice. Hey, Maggie.
Hey guys, it's Billionaire's Bliss here in Venice. I've got everything we know about the big day between Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. That's coming right up.
All right, and then our next hour, how the NBA is getting students excited about STEM subjects through basketball. Stick around.
Sir, she can have my seat, okay? Everyone should experience first class at least once in their lives, and Annie shouldn't miss out just because she can't afford it.
No, ma'am, I'm afraid that's not allowed.
Help me, I'm poor.
No.
It's one of the greatest moments. Like, oh, so good. Welcome back to GMA. You know what that is. That's Bridesmaids, and it made the cut for the New York Times' best movies of the 21st century. The wedding comedy is among the 100 cinematic hits on the list. Hear which film crawled its way to the top spot. That's all ahead in pop news. I love that movie.
That whole plane scene, by the way,
best.
it's like a full meltdown, top to bottom.
How many times do you send that meme?
Right? Exactly. Exactly.
I'm glad I already have Kleenex here from wiping my eyes because you guys have had me in stitches this morning. Now let's take a look at some of the other big stories that we're following on this Saturday morning. A 9th inmate who escaped from a New Orleans jail has been caught after 6 weeks on the run. Police found Antoine Massey yesterday at a home just a few miles away from the jail. Massey was among the 10 inmates who made a brazen escape last month. One more inmate, convicted murderer Derek Groves, remains at large.
One weight loss drug is aiming to shrink more waistlines by expanding access. Wegovy will be available through Weight Watchers starting July 1st. Under the partnership, Weight Watchers customers can buy Wegovy through the drug maker's pharmacy for a one-time price of $2.99.
And a piece of Michael Jordan's history nets a record at auction. This autographed rookie card right there from MJ's 86-87 season with the Chicago Bulls went to the highest bidder for $2.5 million. It's the most ever paid for a Jordan rookie card. And it's a rare find. Jordan has only signed 9 of these cards. Well, that's amazing.
You were a collector, right?
Yeah. Actually, you know what's fundy? I actually was a collector.
Were you really?
I collected cards all the time.
We should have saved them, though. I beat myself up. The Wookiee card. For the Star Wars fans, the Wookiee cards are the best.
Okay.
All right.
We're going to get it together.
Yeah.
We do start this half hour with the big wedding weekend for Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos and fiancée Lauren Sanchez. The two saying their I do's in front of a host of celebrities, followed by lots of fanfare. But the festivities aren't over yet. ABC's Maggie Rulli joins us live from Venice. She's been there from the start, keeping us up to date. Good morning, Maggie.
Hey, Janae, that's right. We've been here for all of the hype and excitement. And guys, finally, last night, that big black tie event, it all went down right behind me on that island right there, San Giorgio Island. We were here yesterday watching all of the A-listers get ferried in water taxis back and forth all afternoon long. Now, the event itself has been kept very top secret. But guys, we do have a sneak peek of that dress. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez stunning in a black tie ceremony. The couple and their star-studded guest list secluded on the island of San Giorgio in Venice, kept far away from prying eyes. Vogue immediately releasing a digital cover featuring her dress. Sanchez Bezos wearing a custom Dolce & Gabbana wedding gown, telling the magazine it took a year and a half to make and describing it as a piece of poetry. Stars like the Kardashians, Oprah Winfrey, Usher, and Leonardo DiCaprio seen making their way to their private island for the ceremony. The couple leaving for the event separately, Bezos wedding ready in his tuxedo, stepping into a water taxi with a wave. His bride in a pre-wedding outfit, white short sleeve jacket, white hair scarf, and her fingers already decked out in diamonds. The wedding festivities set to continue today, despite protesters planning mass demonstrations, threatening to disrupt and block the wedding venues. Protesters claim that because of their threat of demonstrations on the wedding day, the couple was forced to move one of their venues here. This is called the Arsenal, an Old Navy shipyard, and you can see it has 2 miles of these tall, thick brick walls, potentially the perfect place for privacy. The deputy mayor telling us the city is prepared. How big are these protests and what are people protesting?
Are very big, reading the newspaper, are very small if you count the people involved. The same people that every year find a new opportunity to make some complaint and some protest.
And guys, it was Lauren who actually gave us the first look at that dress, posting it almost immediately to her Instagram account, where she also has already changed her name to Lauren Sanchez Bezos. Guys.
All right, Maggie, really, just a gorgeous backdrop there,
Yeah,
too,
really
of Venice. Just beautiful. Maggie, thank you for bringing that to us.
The return of Squid Game. Have you seen it? There's a brand new season 3, and it's thrilling and chilling so many of us. Nightline co-anchor Juju Chang sat down with the stars and director of the show and found out what they're adding this time around.
You know what that means. The game is on. The third and final season of the record-setting global sensation Squid Game is here.
시즌2가 너무 클리프행어로 끝나서 너무 팬들을 오래 기다리지 않게 만들어드리기 위해서 제일 빠른 시간 안에 시즌3를 내놨습니다.
Your character seems to have lost all hope. He's led this rebellion, all his friends are massacred. What does this journey in season 3 say about how to come back from the depths of despair?
어떤 그런 희망을 기훈에게서 표현하고 싶으셔서 더 낙차를 더 크게 둔 것이 아닌가라고 생각합니다.
왜 나만 살려둔 거야? 왜 날 안 죽였어? 대답해! 이유가 뭐야? 왜 나만 살려둔 거야? 왜?
The show's villain, the front man, back pulling the strings behind the scenes after disguising himself as a player in the life or death kids games in season 2.
굉장히 즐겁게 왔다 갔다 하면서 재밌게 촬영을 했던 것 같아요. 배우라는 게 사실은 어떤 캐릭터의 성격들을 어떻게 꺼집어내서 극대화시키면서 보여주느냐가 배우의 어떤.
This is a direct quote from you, Director Huang, on what fans can expect from season 3. You said it's going to be more brutal, more violent, darker, and funnier.
Mm-hmm.
Funnier?
Yes, there is funnier moment. You'll find a funnier moment in every single game in season 3. 그런 순간에 이제 사람들은 웃음이 나올 수밖에 없는 거죠. 그래서 오징어 게임은 좀 그런 계속되는 이 감정의 롤러코스터와 그 로우 포인트와 하이 포인트가 있는 그런 작품을 만들려고 했어요.
촬영하면서 보면 빨리 줄어들었으면 좋겠다고 계속 그날 어떤 날 많이 사람들이 죽으면 그날 굉장히 기분 좋아하세요. 이제 얼마밖에 안 남았다 막 이러면서.
That's hilarious.
Because less people means less work for me. I mean, to be honest, we started with 456 people on the set and 200 crew members. So it was crazy on the very first day of shooting. So I cannot wait to see all people just gone and, like have less people on the set to work just less. Give me like less pain and less stress.
I know this chapter closes, but are you open to reopening the door to that universe for a spin-off or something else?
There's a saying, never say never. So yeah, I never close the door. I'll keep it open slightly.
Just like a suspense director.
So we can revisit in the future in the right time. But we'll see. It's still up in the air.
Now on GMA with the card game that aims to help you deepen your connections with your spouse, friends, and family, posing questions that really get you to think and open up about your relationships. Our resident soul searcher, Will Gans, is here. He's been looking into all of this for us. Let's open up our souls here.
I'm searching.
Yeah.
I'm searching.
Yes.
The And is a card game that encourages connection by asking your loved ones, yes, soul-searching questions. It's racked up 27 million views on TikTok, but the real-world impact is even more impressive.
How do you feel about being old? Yes, they really did that to you.
It's the project aimed at sparking connection with a question.
If this were to be our last conversation ever, what would you want me to never forget and why?
What's the pain in me you wish you could heal and why?
Oh, I love this question. In what ways do you feel you are the continuation of me?
Oh, I love that. It's called The And from The Skin Deep.
Because a relationship isn't you or I, us or them. It's you and I. It's us and them. It's the and
that connects us. We've been doing this for 12 years with over 1,200, now 1,300 pairs. And we realize you create the space and you ask well-constructed questions. You do that, whoa, you're going to have an incredible conversation.
Darren Graham participated with his friend Justin and says it made their friendship even stronger.
Being present is really important, and it does not mean that you have to be extra and be loud, but just bringing your chair to the table, reminding yourself that you're enough.
It's a series and now a card game working to combat our country's loneliness epidemic. According to the former Surgeon General, loneliness and social isolation increase the risk for premature death by 26% and 29% respectively.
Our audience, they want more. They want more out of their life, and they understand that relationships are a key component to getting more out of life.
If you were my parent, what is the first rule you would make for me and why?
That you couldn't smoke.
I couldn't.
So how do you know you're asking the right questions in your own life?
What it does is creates discomfort, but also is safe. And we don't often want to confuse safety and comfort. Ooh, I'm a little uncomfortable, therefore I'm not safe. Well, no, actually the best place to be is safe, but uncomfortable. Why? Because that means you're growing.
Very straightforward piece of advice I have. Do it your way and have those deep conversations when the time is right. But you will know when the time is right.
What's something you would never have done if it wasn't for me?
The way you believe in me, like, it helps me, like, love myself more.
So what questions should you start asking to foster deeper connection in your own life? Avoid questions that start with are, would, or do, like are you excited to be a mom, or would you try skydiving, or do you like dogs or cats? Those answers are going to be binary, yes or no answers. Instead, Topaz suggests questions that begin with why, what, or how to allow for a more explanatory answer.
Wow. Those are really powerful questions.
Yeah.
The one, like if this were our last conversation,
Oh my
I was
gosh.
like,
Gosh, and his emotion as he was asking that.
Absolutely.
And the parent and kid conversations too.
Yeah, really powerful stuff.
And just the idea to lean into the and.
Yes.
The and, the you and me, the us.
If we played that game, there might be some tears.
Curtains.
It would be.
There are not enough Kleenex in the world.
Yes, it would be a meltdown. There'd be laughs, but it'd be messy.
Yes.
It'd be messy.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Will.
Now with our play of the day, and the tennis champs dancing away their differences. Rivals Coco Gauff and Aryna Sabalenka taking to Wimbledon center court to show off some moves. Check this out.
So I just bounce up. Yeah. Everybody dance now. Let's go.
Ooh.
Of course they would move that.
The two dancing to rock this party, also called Everybody Dance Now. Sabalenka posting on Instagram, TikTok dances always had a way of bringing people together. At their last meeting, Gauff defeated Sabalenka in the French Open final. The Belarusian taking some heat after the match for comments that she made, but now all is forgiven as they move on to the next Grand Slam event. ESPN's coverage of Wimbledon starts Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN and Disney+. So lots of good tennis.
All is forgiven.
They are fierce competitors, but I love the sportsmanship there. That's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, coming up here on GMA in our second hour, our cover story, the bright young students using real-life player statistics from the NBA to solve math problems. We'll be right back. Good morning, America. It's our second hour. Supreme Court rulings. The High Court clearing the path for President Trump to end birthright citizenship.
A monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law.
The scathing dissent from liberal justices and what happens next. Plus, the court's rulings on Obamacare and parents' rights.
Students teaming up with the NBA Math Hoops Championship.
I wasn't really into math until I started playing against people.
How the program gets students excited about science, technology, engineering, and math, offering kids a slam dunk for success.
One of the cast members of Friends,
do you want to see me cry? Sir, no, sir!
Is making a comeback on the small screen. A character revival decades in the making, the return we didn't see coming.
And we've got Friday night vibes. This Saturday morning, movie mavens Nina Parker and Kevin Fredricks are in the house, and they're saying,
Good morning, America.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Saturday. Good Morning America.
You guys are lucky. Whit was just about to start spinning around on the floor to this song.
I was like, here we go.
Here we go. Beat Boys here. Good morning, America. Happy Saturday to you. Coming up, we are breaking down the latest vaccine panel recommendations and what they mean for you and your family.
Yep, a lot to cover. Plus, beach patrols keeping a close watch on the water in New York after a woman was most likely bitten by a shark. The frightening encounter is putting lifeguards and visitors on high alert now.
And a legal win for President Trump. The nation's high court handing down a ruling that clears the way for the president to carry out his executive powers, which includes his agenda on birthright citizenship. And that's where we begin with ABC's senior White House correspondent, Selina Wang, joining us from Washington. Selina, good morning.
Hey, Gio, good morning to you. This is a major victory for President Trump. Before this ruling from the Supreme Court, any federal judge could block policy for the entire country. That's no longer the case. So this is going to have a sweeping effect on a whole list of Trump policies, including his attempt to end birthright citizenship.
This morning, President Trump allowed to move forward with plans to end birthright citizenship after the Supreme Court strengthened presidential powers in a new ruling.
The Supreme Court has delivered a monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law.
In a 6-3 decision, the Supreme Court's conservative majority dramatically limits the ability of federal judges to check presidential power. Federal judges in 3 states had ruled Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship blatantly violates the Constitution, issuing nationwide injunctions to block Trump's order from taking effect. But Justice Amy Coney Barrett writes that those injunctions go too far and likely exceed the equitable authority that Congress has given to federal courts. Trump taking a victory lap.
And thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies.
In a scathing dissent, Justice Sotomayor writes that the liberal justices will not join so grave an attack on our system of law, saying Trump's attempt to end birthright citizenship makes a solemn mockery of our Constitution. The courts did not rule on whether Trump's executive order is constitutional, but the order has a 30-day grace period before taking effect. Yet the White House giving no explanation on how exactly citizenship for newborns would be determined.
Who would be tasked with actually vetting citizenship? And would this be a situation where you have nurses and doctors checking for citizenship of parents? Or?
This is all pending litigation. It's going to be decided in October by the Supreme Court, and we'll discuss that after the litigation.
But guys, the legal fight on birthright citizenship is far from over, and this decision from the Supreme Court impacts other Trump policies that have been blocked by federal judges. So that includes parts of Trump's immigration agenda as well as his federal funding freezes. So those controversial policies, Janae, could now all be allowed to move forward.
All right, and we'll be watching. Selina Wang, thank you for your reporting. A flashpoint in the Trump administration's showdown with higher education. The president of the University of Virginia, James Ryan, is stepping down from his post. The departure follows growing pressure from the White House to dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Ryan says he's choosing to resign over putting up a fight with the federal government.
Now to a suspected shark encounter this week at a popular beach right here in New York. The apparent bite coming just a week before millions of people are heading to the beaches for the long holiday weekend. ABC's Faith Abube is joining us now with more on that. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you guys. You know, I should preface this by saying shark attacks are extremely rare. I mean, people need to know that. But these shark encounters are happening as the summer beach season gets underway into full swing. Some beachgoers, they are unnerved by these stories, and officials are on high alert. So let's take a look at this most recent incident. It happened at a popular beach here in Long Island. Authorities say the 20-year-old woman was at Jones Beach in waist-deep water Wednesday when she was most likely bitten by the young sand tiger shark. She suffered minor cuts to her left foot and her leg. That same morning, some beachgoers at that same beach spotted a baby shark. Officials briefly suspending swimming, using drones and lifeguards to scan the area for other dangers. In the last 2 weeks, 2 shark incidents were reported in South Carolina. There was another one that was reported in Florida where a 9-year-old Leah Lindell is recovering after a shark nearly bit off her hand. Again, these incidents are terrifying, but experts were saying that the shark attacks are very rare and beachgoers can minimize their own risk. And guys, if you're heading out to the beach this summer, it is a good idea to avoid swimming in the ocean at night, to avoid murky waters. Officials also recommend that you stay close to the shore where you can touch the bottom of the ocean. Make sure you're staying in groups as well, and also follow all the directions. All the lifeguards that are on the beach, make sure you follow the instructions.
And swimming close to the lifeguards is also a great idea. They know where, when the sharks are reported, they're like the first to know.
Yeah,
so.
You can never be too cautious.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, when you're in open water, you're in nature.
Yes,
so keep
yes.
that in mind. All right, Faith, thank you so much for that. Meanwhile, former President Biden and former Vice President Kamala Harris are expected to pay their respects to slain Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark. The Hortmans now lying in state in the Minnesota state capitol, along with their golden retriever, Gilbert. Police say Vance Bolter killed the couple and wounded another Democratic lawmaker and his wife. Yesterday, a judge pushed back Bolter's hearing after his attorneys claimed that he was suffering from sleep deprivation in jail.
On a more celebratory note, American tennis players can party like it's 1999 at Wimbledon. That's because 35 singles players are set to compete in the men's and women's games. This is the most American players since 1999. Back then, it was also 35 singles players. The 19 women and 16 men are set to kick things off on Monday. They'll be looking to extend the U.S. dominance of the sport after Madison Keys won the Australian Open and Coco Gauff won at Roland Garros. ESPN's coverage of Wimbledon starts Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPN and Disney+. A lot to look for.
I've always wanted to go to Wimbledon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's on your bucket
all
list?
fancy and everybody's drinking the Pimm's cups.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like fun. All right, coming up here on our GMA morning menu, for the love of math and basketball, we'll have the latest from the 2025 NBA Math Hoops Global Competition.
Also ahead, a story Whit loves. Adam Sandler makes a surprise appearance as Happy Gilmore. We'll show you where and the special reason why.
And look who's here, Tori Johnson right here with summer comfort steals. We'll be right back. You're watching Good Morning America on this Saturday.
Back now with our GMA cover story and a group of middle schoolers who made it to the NBA draft, but not for their skills on the court. It's the NBA Math Hoops program, getting students excited about STEM subjects through basketball. Ashin Singh is joining us now with more on that. Ashin, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. And it's a program that's getting the next generation amped about math. But instead of hitting the books, they're hitting a different kind of hardwood to take on their competition and make it fun.
7-6.
Learning.
Yo, we got it!
Plus basketball equals this. NBA Math Hoops. It's the signature program created by Learn Fresh. Their mission? Getting students excited about STEM subjects. Science, technology, engineering, and math.
I wasn't really into math until I started playing against people.
For 14-year-old Kylie, the board game, which combines the sport of basketball with math and teamwork, has built confidence.
I used to fail math. It was very hard for me to learn and to understand it.
Now, she's thriving. Flown to New York City for the NBA draft to compete in the NBA Math Hoops Championship. Mackenzie and Kylie were strangers before, but are now teammates.
We made up our team name called Beautiful Minds.
And they take the challenge seriously.
We talked about strategy, and we also learned to not look at someone and thinking that they're not that good. But then when we saw them, they really beat us. They beat us hard. It was a good thing to teach us what we should be looking out for with the people from the competition.
Yeah, being like, okay, let's do this. We got this.
Team Beautiful Minds making it to the final 8. But if you ask them, they're already the champions.
Out of all 12 teams, to be the team who gets to speak on the Good Morning America is just so amazing. Even if we don't win so well, we still got to participate and have a great experience. That's already winning in my book.
And guys, I swear if Math Hoops was around when I was a kid, my report card might look a little bit different. But I gotta be serious. I'm psyched for these kids using hoops to learn a subject that can be tough for so many. Guys?
How cool are they?
Yeah, it's definitely about finding a way to connect to the students, and they have managed to do that. Ashin, thank you for that story. It is time now for Pop News, and Will Gans is back.
For the record, if they had combined basketball and math when I was a kid, I would have
done
dropped out and left the country. It would have been a bad scene for me. Two of my least strong suits, if you will. All right, we've been counting down the days and the details leading up to Happy Gilmore 2, and thanks to a surprise appearance overnight, somebody's closer. I was hoping you would join me for that. All right, take a look at Adam Sandler in character at last night's first round NHL draft.
The Boston Bruins select from Boston College.
Oh, yeah, and there's no icing the celebrity star power that made cameos throughout the event. Nikki Glaser appeared on behalf of the St. Louis Blues. Dr. Odyssey star Joshua Jackson joining for the Anaheim Ducks.
Oh, yeah?
Quack. Plus Jerry Bruckheimer in Seattle and the Goo Goo Dolls in Buffalo for the Sabres. The NHL draft continues today at 11 a.m. on streaming on ESPN Plus and Disney Plus.
But hockey was one of your strong points.
It is. Yeah, I grew up going to Dallas Stars games.
Wait, really?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you were being shady.
Yeah,
I was being shady at first, but
no, yeah. I used to love this player named Todd Harvey when I was growing up, and then they traded him, and I couldn't watch hockey anymore. I was like too sad about it. Yeah, I just got too attached. So.
That's a very Will Gans story.
Right. All right, next to a comeback 20 years in the making. After she first debuted on the small screen in 2005, Valerie Cherish, played to absolute perfection by Lisa Kudrow, is returning for season 3 of The Comeback.
Oh, so good.
Yes, her announcement video went about as well as you'd expect for the fan favorite character. Take a look.
Well, I've got a new show. How's that? And I'm so excited about it.
Could you just be more excited?
I've got a new show. How's that? How's that? How's that? And I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, just one more.
I said this was the last time, and that was the last time. Right?
How's that? The third and final season of The Comeback will begin production this summer and will debut on HBO and HBO Max next year.
I just love her so much.
I mean, that character, how's that? She's so good at it. And the concept of a show being released in 2005, 2014, and 2026
is also hilarious.
Incredible, yeah. All right, finally, the New York Times has unveiled its list of the 100 best films of the 21st century. To make the list, they polled more than 500 filmmakers, stars, and influential film fans, ranging from Oscar-winning directors like Pedro Almodovar and Sofia Coppola to actors like Chiwetel Ejiofor and Julianne Moore. Coming in at number 100 on the list, Superbad. Skipping a little further down the list, fan favorites like Bridesmaids at number 32,
Yep.
Get Out at number 8, and the top 3 of the 21st century. There Will Be Blood at 3rd.
Really?
Number 2 was Mulholland Drive. And the best movie of the 21st century, Parasite.
Wow. Really?
I mean, know.
A great movie.
I know. It was so hard. They make it really fun, though. You can go in and pick your own top 10, and I was having a really difficult time. I mean, where do you put Mamma Mia 2 on the greatest list of 100 movies?
Or Ace Ventura 2.
Exactly.
Really?
Exactly.
Ace Ventura 2. Will, thank you so
Thank you.
much.
All right, time now for Deals and Steals. Summer is in full swing, and Tori Johnson is here with savings to keep you comfortable at home all season long.
Hello.
What's up, Tori?
You ready?
Good to
Let's
see
do
you.
it. Okay,
Oh, and they start at just $5.
They do. Okay, so we're
Coffee.
starting with Javi Coffee. This is the viral sensation, their coffee concentrate. So this bottle right here, up to 35 servings. You can
Of
create
coffee?
Of coffee. You do not
Really?
need a coffee maker. You can create your own, hot or cold, by adding water or milk, sort of your choice. We made these really fun looking iced cappuccino, iced latte.
This is amazing.
No guilt, because there is no sugar, no 0 calories, and you create your own. If you want sweetener, you can add it yourself. And then we also have their very popular protein coffee as well. So you get both your caffeine as well as your protein all in one. Super simple to use. I think this has like more than 30,000 reviews. They've created a big variety of sets for us, all up to 65% off, plus free shipping.
Free shipping. It even has MCT in there.
When I have
that's
you
impressed
with the ingredients,
yeah.
I know.
She knows me. I'm always looking at the ingredients.
All
okay,
right.
shoes.
Comfortiva. So the benefit of these is sleek, stylish, comfortable. Any kind of warm weather event that you have this summer.
This is like pillowy.
Yes. So every single one of their styles comes with their pillow top memory foam footbed. So as you could press down and you feel that memory foam footbed, it does feel really good. So it's not just cute and fun, but also extremely comfortable for that easy breezy easy breezy feel in every step. All 50% off today from Comfortiva. Big assortment online.
50%. Okay, what do we get?
What is this? Nabozo. So this is all about podiatrist created products that help with foot recovery. So everything is based on stimulating the foot. So texture for stimulation.
Yeah, you can feel that texture.
You feel that texture for stimulation. So that's going to help with improving awareness, recovery, circulation, strength. One of my favorites, you've got the toe splays there. One of my favorites are these recovery socks. So this is backwards. You would keep this on the inside, and then your foot feels these little like massages in every single step. So after a long day or after just tired, achy feet, or if you have foot problems, those really deliver. Everything half price from Nabozo, starting at $15.
And it looks like some massage tools for your feet. Very cool.
Okay. If you, not you, but if I did not have time to go to the salon, Model Ones makes it really easy to be able to do your nails at home, get that salon quality manicure. So we've got a big variety of options. They're best known for their gel manicures. So that's these gel polishes here. They come also with the lights to do the curing at home. But if gel is not your thing, in the front row there, I've got a big variety of the regular polishes, all of them extra shine, that beautiful flawless finish, and then we even have a big variety of treatments. So if you want to be your own at-home manicurist, this line's for you. All starts at $5.
My sister would love these.
Yeah, well, you can hook her up.
All right.
All right,
So
I think you'd like this too, the growing candle. So when you are done growing the candle, instead of throwing the vessel away, this label has seeds embedded.
No
so you
way.
add your own soil, and then you plant this label, and you wind up growing wildflowers that are gonna start out like this, and that are gonna end like that. So you get this incredible scent, and then you get a beautiful payoff when you're done with the candle. All slash and half starts at $15.
That is brilliant.
It is so fun, and they smell really good
Yeah,
too.
they sure do. This also smells good, aromatherapy.
This is lavender, so I really think like a diffuser like this helps you to kind of change the mood or set the tone. We also have from Cozy House these beautiful, it's their 3-piece quilt set. So you get 2 shams and then the cover like this, and it really changes and elevates the look of your room. Great for year-round comfort. And then you get in bed and you've got this going, and life is just good, right? Life is just
all
good.
of this gets you ready for summer.
Yeah,
I love
plus 50% off and free shipping.
Ooh, free
from Cozy
shipping.
House.
Tori.
Thank you.
You rock. Thank you so much. And we've partnered with all these companies to find each deal. Go to our website, goodmorningamerica.com, or scan that QR code right there with your phone. Coming up, they're a whole vibe. Nina Parker and Kevin Fredricks. They are right here talking about their new show, and they're giving us a reason to stay in on Friday nights.
Hit the note. Do it, Janae.
Sorry that you.
All
right.
She needs to warm it up.
Welcome back to GMA on this Saturday morning. That is the jam. The Boy Is Mine, a smash hit from the 90s. Now Brandy and Monica have a new collab in the works, their first ever joint tour. You guys, you know you had to choose whether you were going to sing Brandy or Monica.
Yeah, of course.
I like to do both. Now the R&B divas, they're sharing the stage again. It sent fans into a frenzy on social media. Brandy and Monica will be joined by Money Long, Kelly Rowland, and this year's American Idol winner Jamal Roberts. Tickets are on
I
sale
mean,
now.
come on, what a show.
Right? I know.
You're singing, you know, but we enjoy it, but
We'll work on it before
yeah,
the
we'll get there. All right, we want to get to some of the top headlines that we're following right now on this Saturday morning. The Pentagon strips Harvey Milk's name from a Navy ship. The USNS Harvey Milk was named in honor of the gay rights activist who served in the Navy. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth ordered the vessel to be renamed to the USNS Oscar V. Peterson. Peterson was a decorated sailor who died in World War II. Hegseth says this move takes the politics out of ship naming.
And you'll feel less pain at the pump when you're filling up for your summer road trip. The national average for regular gasoline hit $3.21 per gallon this week, 23 cents cheaper than a year ago. That's all according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration. The agency says a steady supply chain could keep prices down in the coming months.
And it was a star-studded affair as Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez said, "I do." The lavish wedding ceremony in Venice, Italy brought out icons, A-listers, and so many other high-profile guests, including Oprah and the Kardashians. To top it all off, Vogue magazine released a digital cover, look at that right there, of Sanchez in her custom Dolce & Gabbana gown. Congratulations to them.
Yes. All right, up next here, it may be Saturday morning, but we're sharing some Friday Night Vibes, a show that's also kind of a movie watch party, hosted by the dynamic duo right here, Nina Parker and Kevin Fredricks. Good morning to both of you.
Hey.
I mean, before we even started, Nina and I just found out we went to college together in the Bay Area.
Y'all should have seen what was happening here during the commercial break.
We've got a lot to talk about.
We have got to talk.
Exactly. So
Some
we'll
of them
we'll
school
set that up. Exactly. For sure. Golden Gators, by the way. Shout out Bay Area. All right. Let's get to the show. Nina, let's start with you. Just first give us a sense. The show's a little bit different.
Yes.
But how this works. And it's a lot of fun.
You remember growing up and watching Dinner and a Movie. And this is really, this is not your grandparents' Dinner and a Movie. This is kind of a revamped version where we do movies that you love, but also with a spin. So we'll do movies like Get Out, but then we're going to have Little Rail on, right? And we talk to him and we get behind the scenes information about what it was like to film. Then we play games. We love to play a game. We're a little competitive.
Very competitive.
And when I say little, I mean a lot.
Yeah, we get it. We get it.
Kevin's not letting anybody win.
Nina got kicked out of game nights. That's how competitive she is.
Oh, really? Okay.
I am officially the bartender and the DJ now. I'm not allowed to play the games anymore. But it's such a fun rewatch. And I think, listen, you get past a certain age, Friday nights are no longer for the clubs. Right. It's for rest and relaxation.
Absolutely.
And so we encourage you to rest and relax with us and watch a movie you love with friends. This is a movie you can talk through because we're talking through it.
We're chopping it up with y'all.
Yeah.
It seems like a vibe. So we're going to check out a clip of a conversation you guys had when you were talking about Suicide Squad, specifically Idris Elba's character and their fear of rats, and something that, Nina, you're afraid of. So check this out.
Yes. I have a phobia of mayonnaise.
What do you mean?
I hate
phobia?
it. I think it's disgusting. I hate it. I hate to look at it. I don't want to be around anyone who's consuming it. I won't even walk past it in the grocery store.
So if I had a jar of mayonnaise,
Can I tell you, I feel the same way.
mayonnaise done to you guys.
It's like if I had a nemesis, it would be mayonnaise.
Really?
It's just a condiment that makes sandwiches less dry.
Right.
Exactly.
Truly.
Yes, hurt you guys.
It's a beautiful condiment.
I'm not trying to brag.
Like, what is it?
I just got back from France, and they give you mayonnaise with your fries instead, and I almost kicked it off the table. Get that out of here. I had to come back immediately.
It's hilarious that Gio understands the fear of mayonnaise.
I appreciate
What made you guys fall in love with watching films?
Oh man, parents that were not paying attention to you. I grew up, I go to an aunt's house, she'd sit me in front of the TV, and there's just like a whole bunch of movies. She'd be like, all right, have a good day. And I would pop in The Little Mermaid, and I just watch and watch.
The Little Mermaid, I love that this is what made him fall.
Oh, I was just like, oh, Ariel.
Mine was Goodfellas.
Both ends of the spectrum.
I was like, I will watch Goodfellas
And
every day.
We see that chemistry play out right here. When you auditioned for this role, you had this chemistry test.
Yeah.
You said it felt like a family reunion.
It did. Well, listen, we had known each other on social media. We had never met in person. So I felt like I knew Kev, but I didn't know. Sometimes it's weird when you meet people from social media and it could be awkward. You're not sure, but it felt like I immediately was with my brother.
Yeah, we partnered with a couple of different people, and after a while, we forgot we were auditioning.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, cut. We're like, cut? Oh, yeah, you know what? This is
I was in the middle of getting this recipe. So yeah, it was, normally when you chem test, you're very nervous and you don't know what's going to happen. And I instantly had a feeling like if it wasn't going to be that show, it was going to be something else because I knew we had something special.
Okay, so let's see this play out right here because we've got a little game for you. And it's called Where Have I Seen You? S-C-E-N-E. Each of us will take turns naming an actor's movies until one of us can't think of another movie with that actor, and that person is then out of the game, and the rest of us will keep going. That's basically
We won't take it easy on you guys.
And this is, you guys play this on the show.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right.
Black out though. So
sometimes.
Okay.
Man, pressure's
Here
on.
we go. Okay, first, Meryl Streep.
Oh, God.
Okay, so The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
Oh. She said, yeah.
Dang it. Still Magnolias.
Doubt.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, now I can think of 20 things. I can't. I'm like, see, I'm blanking out. I got it. I'm out.
Oh,
I know.
you're out.
I know.
Okay.
I knew this was going to happen.
Keep
I
going?
told you.
No, but what would you say?
It doesn't matter. He's
okay,
out.
fine.
So.
I would have said Mamma Mia. Okay.
Boy, I knew I'd be terrible.
Denzel Washington. Training Day.
Yes. Flight.
He got game.
Gladiator 2.
Remember the Titans.
Oh, there you go.
That's a good
All right,
movie.
so who won? I don't know.
You're supposed to keep going.
Yeah, we just keep going. You gotta name it.
Fences.
Malcolm X.
Equalizer.
Oh.
Come on. We're counting on you.
It's supposed to be fun.
I can't.
We're out.
If there was a trophy for the loser,
I don't know who wins the popcorn
You see how the
trophy,
pressure
but
comes?
that's the problem. That's my issue. I fail.
You're going to think about all Denzel movies all day today.
There's gonna be
That's
and
how I
Meryl
do.
Streep movies.
Yes.
I mean, like 1,000.
I
It's like,
said Still Magnolia. She was not in that.
We didn't even know to check you.
She wasn't. No.
wow.
But
Okay.
she said it with
Well
such
played.
confidence.
Y'all believe
Well,
me though.
so I don't think
Sometimes it's just a bluff.
we're just going to give you guys the popcorn because I don't know who won. That's the coveted popcorn right there. And you can catch a movie with Nina and Kevin on Friday Night Vibes every Friday night on TBS.
Now on GMA with a lot of buzz and alarm from medical groups about the members appointed to the new CDC vaccine committee, some of whom are known for anti-vaccine stances. So we want to address the concerns so many of us parents are having. Dr. Delana Wardlaw and Dr. Elena McDonald, known as the twin sister docs, they are here to help. Thank you both for being with us. Elena, you're a board-certified pediatrician. If parents are worried, what's the first thing that they should do?
I think the first thing that parents should do is talk with their child's physician. You should have a very trusted relationship with your physician. You want to be able to ask all your questions about the vaccines so that you can make an educated decision. So please start with your physician.
So start with your own family's physician.
Absolutely.
Yes. And Delana, you are a family physician. Some parents, they're worried about vaccine costs and access. What do you think that they need to know?
So right now, the vaccines are still readily available. If you have any concerns, again, the first stop is to talk with your physician, pediatrician, family medicine physician. You can also call your insurance company and ask, are these vaccines still available? And we do have the programs that there are free vaccines that are available to low income families. And those vaccines are still available at this time. And so hopefully it will remain that way.
Okay, so the first thing that both of you said was for anyone out there, you should talk to your physician. And obviously you expect to have trust with your physician. But Elena, in a poll from December, the percentage of people who view medical doctors' honesty and ethics as very high or high dropped 14% from 2021. That's really remarkable. So it's obviously important for medical professionals and the communities they serve to establish trust. How do they do that?
So one, we have to recognize why there is mistrust.
Yeah.
There's been many instances in the past that has led to the mistrust. So we need to acknowledge it, apologize for it, and then move forward. But as a physician, you want to recognize your patients as people and individuals first.
Yeah.
You walk into the room, you establish that trust. Are you so-and-so? How old are you? What school do you go to? Talking to the parents, what questions do you have? So you have to earn that trust walking into the room, and it's just having that back and forth conversation, allowing patients and their parents to ask questions and being very honest with them. Whether or not they like the answer or not, you need to be very honest with them, and that builds that trust.
So you have to have that dialogue on both sides. And you guys know that because not only are you twins and you're doctors, but you're also both moms. So how does that reinforce the importance of vaccines to both of you, Delana?
Well, as a mother of twins myself.
Well, you have twins
yes,
too?
17-year-old twins. And I have given my children every vaccine that I have offered to my patients because as a physician, I know the information, I am a scientist, I can analyze the data, and I trust the data. Vaccines have been proven to be safe and effective, and they have prevented death and destruction from many diseases. So what I offer my patients, they can also feel comfortable in knowing that I provided for my children as well.
Is it the same for you, Elena?
Absolutely. I have, well, my children are now men. They're 18 and 21, but exactly the same thing. When I have a conversation with my families, I tell them what I am recommending to you. I have recommended for my own children, my family members, my friends. So not only do we talk the talk, we walk the walk.
So what do you guys make of this, of the misinformation surrounding vaccines and those who are anti-vaccines?
Well, I really think that it just comes from people just having misinformation and it coming from the information now being readily available. Social media, you know, and everybody's an expert on social media. And so people are not sure of who the expert is on social media. So people really need to make sure that they are getting information from people who are experts in this area, who know the data, know the scientific information, and can provide you with that information.
Like the two of you, the twin sister docs, thank you both so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, look at that. You guys talk at the same time, too. Thank you, ladies.
We've been chowing down on this popcorn.
I know. This bucket's like half gone.
Coming up, Will Gans is back with ABC Secret Sales summer upgrades that you're going to love, starting at just $10. Stay with us.
All right, we are back now with Will Gans, bringing us ABC's Secret Sales that will upgrade our summer. Everything you see here is shoppable as well. Hey, Will?
Let's begin over
here, yes, all the way down here.
I'd like to offer you a spa-like experience.
Sure.
In the comfort of your own home. Yeah,
Who doesn't want that?
are aromatherapy steamers. I'm obsessed with these. So all you do is you pop one of these at the bottom of your shower, and the hot water will release the essential oils, and you have different scents for different reasons, right? Eucalyptus to open the senses, pink grapefruit to energize, really nice. Lavender geranium to calm. They're all handmade in America. Obviously, the packaging is beautiful. Save 25% now on a 4-pack.
Okay, excellent.
They're so easy, and they really are a cool way to just, like, elevate your everyday shower experience.
Skincare.
Yeah, number 7, beauty.
Important.
This is a fan fave for GMA viewers. We have the Restore and Renew collection. That's for looking firmer in just 4 weeks, any aging skin issues that anyone might have. We also have the Lift and Luminate, which is perfect for fine lines and wrinkles. And then the Laboratories collection, which is the latest in age-defying collagen, boosting technology. So this is number 7, everything 50% off today for every skin concern.
50% off.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent.
All right, take on
bags.
the summer with a crochet bag. Crochet bags are very in right now.
Yeah, they are.
All the ladies in the Johnson household would be able to tell you all about that. We have crossbodies and totes from K. Carroll. Everything starting at just $15.
$15?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't beat
We were
that.
talking about this. You know, one of my issues with some of my headphones is the charging. It'll do like one more than the other, but this has a solution for that.
This is Vibes, and the really cool thing about this is that on the outside of the case, it'll tell you exactly how much charge you have on either side. So this has 68%. You'll know whether you should go for a 4-mile run.
There we go.
Or you can splurge and go for the half marathon. They're great. They deliver crystal clear sound, whether you are running, listening to a podcast, going for a walk, whatever it might be. Sleek and stylish packaging. I love they have great options for men and for women. Ergonomic comfort, and they're all 56% off from
Great
Vibes
colors
today.
too, by the way.
Exactly.
Okay, a little home comfort here.
Oh, you know, we love Cozy Earth. So this is the temperature regulating viscose from bamboo. So if you sleep warm, this will cool you down at night and vice versa. We have lots of different options, all different types of bedding. We have blankets, comforters, pillows, and more.
This is so soft, by the
Isn't
way.
that unbelievable?
Wow.
Yeah, I love a blanket like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
sorry, I'm just going to curl up.
No, as you should. That's exactly what we're all about today. Today, everything from Cozy Earth, 50% off. Yeah, look good, feel good, make your wallet feel good.
I feel it's like Game of Thrones a little bit.
You
too,
are giving
right?
Jon Snow right
from
now.
the north, yes,
Yeah.
where we're off to the wall.
Yeah.
Will Gans, thank you. As always, we appreciate it. Of course, we've partnered with all of these companies on these great bargains. You can get them by scanning the QR code right there on the screen, and you can go to our website.
And before we say goodbye, congratulations, Will Gans! Wedding bells, and we have some pictures. Look at that. The love of his life, Jason, right there, proposing this week. And what'd you say, Will?
I said yes. A very enthusiastic yes. I love you, Jason.
Congratulations.
Cheers
We're
to
so
you
happy for you.
Thank
Very romantic, by the way.